Is there a way, and this is a serious question, is there a way for us to have a genuine conversation about Kobe Bryant without it coming off as hate?
Like a basketball
What's the
conversation?
conversation?
Yeah,
Is my thing.
basketball.
I think so.
Well, what are you being honest about?
Where he was as a player, like ranking wise, his strengths, his weaknesses, and just get all that Mamba mentality narrative off. I don't know if y'all saw the clip is circling around again about who was that? It was one of the Lakers players on the team at the time was on Paul George's podcast, and he was referencing when Kobe had stopped shooting, and now that is being labeled as like Mamba mentality.
I think us four specifically are not big enough Kobe fans, so we can have that conversation. Like I think we are Kobe fans, but not like Kobe stands. If that makes sense.
Well, I think he was asking, can we have the conversation and not come off as hate? So
yeah,
I don't think if we were Kobe fans, it would come off as hate. I think it would make it even better to have the convo. I don't think we're big enough Kobe haters for it to be seen as hate, but there are going to be people just because of who Kobe is and the nature of what happened to him that are going to call any negative speaking about him as hate. Even if it's something that was super obvious and it's like universally known, yeah, this is a negative. They're just going to say, nah, it's hate because death boost.
So no. Okay.
I mean, we can have it. You just going to come. They already look at you as the king of negativity, and I'm negative adjacent, apparently. So they already see it that way. Had a conversation. It will be on brand, technically.
Shouts out to TSO to Son Amison.
He's on fire.
Kobe saying Kobe not top 5 isn't hate, but saying he's not at least 6 through 15, in my opinion, is.
I mean,
I'd say so. If you got him outside 15,
I think if you got him outside of 10, that's crazy. But that's just me.
I don't know where he is.
He's 6 on my list. Well, on my list, he's 6. Actually, let me double check. I can triple check right now. It's in my notes, but I'm pretty sure he's 6.
I see. Great.
If I'm not mistaken.
All I'm saying is I don't. And let's just say, Damo, you don't even got to check. It's about
too late.
We all have different places and spaces where Kobe is for our.
Oh, he's 5.
Stuff like that. We got the different reasons, right? But what I'm saying is we don't have to get into these make-believe conversations about, again, it's only because it's been ramped up because of the Tracy McGrady stuff and then the clip of Paul George. Kobe would never go running to ask Dwayne Wade for help, and there's video or there's articles about him literally asking for Wade to come to the Lakers, and what they say, the Lakers would never get rid of Kobe or something like that. Then there was the Lakers actively pursuing a trade for LeBron James. There's a bunch of documentation out there about Kobe Bryant that we don't have to do all this stuff. None of this should really affect his legacy. None of this should even be a part of the conversation about where he lands all time as a basketball player. But it has to be introduced because instead of just talking about his play on the court, people want to do the narrative stuff.
I think it just depends on the day, because there's certain days where I feel like Kobe's being underrated, if anything. I don't know.
I think it depends on
I feel like that all the time.
I feel like it depends on the type of fan that you're referring to or talking to. The ones that are very narrative driven with Kobe, and maybe this is just me noticing something. Correct me if I'm wrong. These are also Jordan fans. The same people that are pushing these Kobe narratives, at least that I've seen and heard, are the same ones that will heavily push Jordan fucking narratives and everything like that. The people that I see underrating Kobe are the same people that are upping LeBron. You're gonna underrate Kobe to make your GOAT seem even more better. That's just what I noticed.
It's just backwards, if you ask me. But
I feel like they feel like they have to do that in order to make the argument, but you just don't. You could just make your argument as to why one is over the other or one is, and I really don't even care. Like, I really don't care if you think Kobe Bryant is over LeBron. I don't care if you think LeBron is over Kobe. You don't have to sit there and do this super fantastical game where you start to rewrite history about certain things.
It is also people just not being able to have the conversation or argument or make the argument. So that's why they just run with the narratives. If you take the narratives away from them and tell them just let's just talk ball, let's talk what actually happened, let's talk objective basketball, they can't do that. They only can talk in narrative form when it comes to basketball players.
Fuck it, we can do it since we're right here. I don't. God, I think that some of it is where is it? Paul George. I need that Paul George Kobe Bryant clip. We're here. If I can't find it in the next 2 scrolls, I'll skip it. But I just think it's weird how stuff is being rephrased and reshaped and all this other stuff like that.
Game 7, Kobe, him not being aggressive, that's
didn't
never
shoot.
in the same category.
He didn't
Oh, it's old
shoot.
nigga.
It had to be weird, like, Kobe, dog, shoot the ball.
We go up 3-1. I'm talking to my boys in Phoenix.
Yeah,
You know, I'm like, exit first round. Smush Park had done a phenomenal job in the first 4 games on Steve Nash. Then some things changed where Smush started to get outside of his game. Phil and them let him kind of get away with it, and Kobe was pissed. That's what really got Kobe
that's
mad.
what sparked it.
Guys got outside of their parameters of who they were and why we were up 3-1, and nothing was being done about it. So I think Kobe at that time, and I don't want to talk for him, was proving a point. Like, you got to take this and you got to get on this and stop the bleeding early. And I was surprised that Phil let it fester just based on who I thought Phil was as a coach, that would be cut off right away.
Yeah.
That's what I think led up to it, because Aaron McKee and I were sitting there on the bench, like, we didn't realize it at first. And then we was like, hold up, he ain't shooting, he ain't even looking.
Yeah.
It was crazy, because before you knew it, the game was over, and you look at the stat sheet, he ain't shooting the 4. We like, but in real time, you didn't realize it because the game was going, but then you knew something was off, like Kobe ain't really being aggressive. This ain't game 7, but I think it was in my opinion, proving the point to the coaching staff.
It wasn't like he was getting trapped and
No,
doubled and the
no.
ball had to get out his hands. He was invitingly swinging it. Like,
Yeah, no. He was like, oh, you think you can win it? You think
Yeah.
you can do this?
Yeah.
Go ahead. That's what I think more of it was, that aspect of it. Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
And see, I almost moved this nigga below Curry. This nigga almost just went 6. Just me thinking about that dumb shit.
Nah, I remember. I remember, like, they called it like the shot put or something, and I was like, "What the fuck is a shot put?" They were like, "Yeah, man, Kobe just like gives up," and I was like, "What do you mean gives up?" He was like, "Everybody called him a ball hog." I was like, "Yeah, I grew up in that, knew the basketball, grew up in that, but what do you mean everybody called him a ball hog and he gave up?" He's like, "Yeah, man, he just starts passing to prove a point." Kind of the pettiest thing that someone's done in a long time. No one talks about it. I watched that, John.
Do you understand how crazy it is to have the complaint up 3-1? Yo, these guys are doing a little too much on the court. They're playing in the playoffs. Hey man, I don't know who they think they are, but they are playing out of their
punch
body.
it on a ring.
Let's go ahead and get it in check, because God forbid Smush Parker plays like anybody that's better than Smush Parker. God forbid guys want to step up and help me win. Nah, I'm Kobe. I'm a disciple of Jordan.
Well,
I got to
to be
do this
fair-
myself. I need that shot. I need that shot. I need that shot.
It wasn't exactly that. It was more so like they had that in their mind that they need that shot, and it weren't going in. And Kobe was like, "Bro, let's just do what got us here." And he was like, "You know what? Bet." Flashy pass. And then next thing you know, I mean, I forgot what game he's talking about when he doesn't shoot in the 4th, but I vividly remember my bro put me on to the thing.
Game 7 against the Suns. I remember the game.
7
I
was
know
game
the
7.
game.
Yeah.
Game 7
Because
against the
y'all
Suns.
know my origin story. I'm Hornets. I'm Hornets. Chris Paul, Kobe. That's my origin story. But yeah, he was like, "Yeah, nah, bro, that nigga really did not shoot the ball." Damn.
And again, I don't know exactly 100% Jim Jackson's feelings on it, 100% Paul George's feelings on it, 100% Dallas's feelings on it, 100% Jackie's feelings on it. I have heard them talk more abrasively about players. That is not crazy. That is not psychotic. That's not wild or proving a point for literally anybody else. But can
I ask you a question? Hypothetically speaking, there's somebody trying to relay information to you. Do you take this person's information serious, or do you take this person serious if you know they got their bitch took?
What the hell?
Yeah, I'm gonna need help. Maybe I'm stupid.
I'm just asking a simple question. If you know this person's bitch legit just got snatched from him,
Okay.
are you gonna trust what this nigga is saying?
No.
No.
Exactly. So why are we trusting Jim Jackson? Because Jason Kidd took his bitch, and we know what Jason Kidd do to women.
My goodness.
Look it up in Dallas. There's a reason he ended up on the Lakers.
The truth of this
Jim Jackson got his whole girl was it? It was Jason Kidd. It wasn't Tony Parker. It was Jason Kidd. Yes. Bitch snatched.
I hate him.
They got into a fight about it. He got traded. Why am I going to take this nigga serious? You getting your bitch took by Jason. Jason Kidd was a white man with a high top fade.
I hate you.
All I'm literally saying is, and I'll say this also, it comes from a lot of the Kobe teammates. The Kobe teammates are really the ones who really, really, really push it. Because this was the other one. We skipped this one like last week or whatever. That Nick Young shit.
Everybody was saying like, yo, T-Mac is nice. That's what people were saying.
They were saying you was the best player in the league.
No, we were saying nobody said that. We're telling you what was. This is not Gilbert. 2016. We're talking about what was being said in real time in 2002.
2008.
We're talking about 2002. What was being actually said, dog? That nigga was averaging 29. He was third in the league scoring. Who? You. This nigga was averaging 32 a game, scoring, and nigga getting triple teamed. Nobody in the league was guarding T-Mac. That's what the conversation was. Y'all thought I was just capping. I'm not telling you. There was a reason Kobe was feeling some type of way. It is amazing these days, right? These niggas are stupid. Rather argue like instead of listening.
You niggas will always think y'all right. You're not right. We were there. I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to agree with you. I don't give a fuck what y'all. I don't have to agree.
What is your take?
We don't get it wrong.
No, you are wrong. You stupid. We're damn. We're game playing.
Niggas act like I gotta agree with you, motherfucker. You're not right. Shut that shit up. That shit get on my nerves, nigga.
I love niggas sometimes.
2002. From 2000.
This is all about all they're saying is in 2002, like the early 2000s, that Tracy McGrady was regarded as higher than Kobe. And Nick Young is like crash.
You know what's crazy? Chat, unfortunately, they not wrong. It's just a little dishonest. They not wrong. There was comparisons. It's Googleable. it's very T-Mac or Kobe 2002. Oh shit. It's Google. It's definitely a thing. But and I have to admit, I seen Lowe have a point about it as well. So shout out to a friend of the show. It's just another one of them dumbass conversations that age poorly. It's literally that. I mean, we are 4 years ago removed. I keep bringing it up because it's really the funniest one. We're 4 years ago from talking about DeMar DeRozan being top 5, dog. Like we have dumbass conversations all the time. So that definitely was a thing. Now, to be fair to T-Mac, before y'all think I'm underrating T-Mac's fantastic, but I think there's a reason why people choose the non-peak years of Kobe to get this off. You choose the best years, GG. But it's just one of the things where it definitely was a thing. It's just, I don't know why people lately are trying to get it off. Maybe because it's past. Maybe it's because Kobe is probably forever going to be in the pendulum. Maybe because as time goes on, efficiency and stuff like that. I don't know what the case may be.
Wait, no. And again, I'm continuing to have to bring it back. This conversation stemmed from T-Mac saying, you think if I wasn't on the Lakers, I wouldn't have rings. That conversation stemmed from Bron talking about the ring conversation on his podcast.
Yeah, I didn't hear the main topic, so apologies.
No, that's fine. Really, it was just about having a genuine conversation about Kobe. But I don't think what anybody said about anything is not true. I think that, and we talked about it a little bit on this podcast. I think that Bron saying what he said about rings on his podcast was true, even though people had debate and all that stuff about it. I think when T-Mac said, if I had Shaq on my team, he just so happened to pick Shaq on his team, but basically saying if I swap places with Kobe, I would at least have one.
Oh, that's a fact.
I don't think that's far-fetched to say.
No, Kobe averaged 18 points at one time. Like, yeah, you could have one. Yeah,
and
sure.
So then that turned into T-Mac ain't Kobe, so that wouldn't have happened. I thought that said more about Shaq. How that got to being a distance, that's fine. And then we get into this conversation about, man, none of y'all niggas is Kobe, man. I'll kill for him. And so that's where
I think Kobe fans always want to. So as a Kobe fan, we are scared that you guys look at numbers and toxicity and downplay the player that we know we saw. We know we saw it. I think when it comes to this direct situation, we hear T-Mac say he get a ring, and a lot of Kobe fans jump the gun and hear three-peat. I also agree with those fans. T-Mac is not three-peating. Hell no. That's not happening. Whether you want to argue a domino effect of Shaq gets toxic, T-Mac ain't Kobe, so Shaq gets fat GGs, or you just want to argue that that they needed a Kobe in there. Either way, I don't think that they three-peat, but I definitely think that it's hard to sit there and argue that a guy like Tracy McGrady, given certain opportunities, wouldn't have a better career. I think Kobe fans, they see other players get thrown into the conversation. They're like, dog, y'all sitting here, y'all arguing about off-court antics. You argue about efficiency and stuff like that. But as a talent, that nigga was one of one, and he was great with 5 championships. So it's just one of them things where I think Kobe fans have a high defense mechanism. I know I yapped around it. I'm trying to catch up to what the topic was about, so I'm kind of just shotgunning. But yeah.
Yeah, you Kobe fans piss me off, boy, because it's hard to break it to you. T-Mac would three-peat if he was on the list.
Repeating with Shaq?
Nigga, he averaged 30 in 2000, 2001, and 2000. No, I'm sorry. He averaged 17 in 2000 playoffs, 34 in the 2001 playoffs, 31 in the 2002 playoffs. He didn't get hurt. He was fine.
T-Mac would work as a duo for 3 years.
Shaq and Kobe worked, and they hated each other.
That's why it worked.
No, that's not. No. It worked because they were both great. They were great basketball players. So despite that, it worked.
So Shaq.
I think Shaq playing
with practice out of shape, and T-Mac does
now. Shaq is playing with somebody who's not going to be a dick to him.
Oh wow.
Hey, is Shaq going to get super lazy? It's a possibility. I don't think it happens because he still was Shaq. He still was fat. It's not like playing with Kobe had him in more shape. He still got fat with Kobe. Like Kobe just was a dick about it. So maybe it motivated him. Man, somebody else is going to be a dick to Shaq. I don't know. But I would have to ask Chilltown, I guess. I don't know, gang. Ooh. But if we're saying who Tracy McGrady was at that time, you put that on the Lakers, they're still able to repeat? Yes. Tracy McGrady was like, especially those years, not just peak for peak later on down with Pau Gasol. No, fuck that. 2000, 2001, 2002. Those 3 years, T-Mac 100% winning all 3.
If we're playing 2K, absolutely.
I'm looking at it right now.
I don't see how Tracy McGrady
what happens, will
do that.
I'm looking
given circumstances like Shaq fouling out, Kobe in that situation, put T-Mac in the situation, they just do the same thing because it's 2K. Like I don't see that.
I think there's a lot of like, if you replace Kobe with Shaq 1-to-1, like is T-Mac doing exactly what Kobe did? No, but the concept of pairing Shaq with a two-way elite 2 guard, and I'm looking at like exactly who T-Mac was at this time. He wasn't that far off from Kobe. I know.
In terms of production, he wasn't.
The most questionable year is 2000.
Exactly.
I think Kobe was better than T-Mac in 2000 by a substantial margin, but I think he at least, there's a strong chance they repeat together at the very least. 3-peat, I don't know, but
I think that's ultimately the conversation is like, is it, if somebody makes the stance, because this is where this stems from, and a lot of these conversations stem from. If we replace X player from X team, and we believe that replacing X player from X team produces the same sort of results, is that a slight to X player, or is that a testament to the greatness of the player that we're replacing him with? But if all of it is like, if all of it is based on like these stories and fables about stuff that happened to these exact 1-to-1, so it wouldn't happen, that's why I'm a little bit So I guess my pose would be like, not if you replace like LeBron with somebody, or Kobe in 08, 09, 10 with somebody, not like the main guy, but somebody who is the second guy or objectively the third guy. If you get somebody who is the equivalent, the literal equivalent, or not the literal, but just around the same area of equivalent,
someone in the same tier, or someone.
Let's say in 2010, 2011, Chris Bosh, you're just replacing Chris Bosh with somebody in the same tier, or Dwayne Wade with somebody.
Amari Stoudemire.
I like it. Yeah, truly, whoever somebody picks, cool. Is the outcome really the same or really different to where we just aren't believing that this wouldn't happen? I don't know.
It honestly depends on what kind of conversation you're trying to have. Sometimes it can be, in some instances, in some conversation, yes, it's a testament to how good another player was who didn't have a fortunate circumstance. In other conversations, it can be a slight to someone. I haven't heard many of the conversations, but I would assume they went down this rabbit hole recently, the J-Dub versus Paolo conversations. I refuse to listen to those. I'm not, what are we really doing here? But I know for a fact some bird brain was in a space on a TikTok live somewhere. If you put Paolo on the Thunder, he is not going to be able to do what J-Dub did for the Thunder for them to win. Shut up. Paolo, the better player in this situation. You're right. He might not do exactly what J-Dub did, but he is of the same ilk and or even better than this player. I would assume he can produce similar results. Someone in the chat brought up, T-Mac averaged 15 in 2000. He averaged 17 in the 2000s playoffs. Kobe averaged 21 in those same playoffs. I understand it's not the same, but it is similar. And Shaq is still the best player on the court.
That nigga T-Mac was awful in them playoffs.
It was his first playoffs, and he was in Toronto. It was Toronto T-Mac.
Even the one where you averaged 30, you weren't that good. You said 30, but he's shooting bad. These are bad games. So on like 90% of people's account, or 90% of y'all would say 30. He shoots 12 or 32 one game with 33 points. He has 8 assists, 9 rebounds for my triple double fans out there. So there you go. He has 35 points the next game on 15 for 31. I don't think no one bats eye at that. Next one, 42 and 10. That's a good game as well. And within the last game, he has 25 points, 110 and 26.
But I don't think
two straight up.
I don't think with Shaq is a whole different dynamic.
I'm about to say,
he's also not getting 30 shots up. So,
but he wouldn't need to get 30 shots up because again, he's playing with Shaq, and we're talking about him in a limited role. You just said in 4 games, 2 of them he shot efficiently for 2000 standards at that, and 2 of them. I feel like the 2 he was terrible will be offset by the fact that he's playing with Shaq. He's not the focal point of the offense. He's not about to get double teamed or whatever it was. And we're talking about 2001 specifically, not in 2000 when he was on the Raptors playing behind Vince Carter. Like I don't know, man. We're talking about in terms of talent of players. I said Vince Carter. Tracy McGrady, especially at that time, was in the same tier as Kobe. He was.
Agree. Nobody's done it.
I don't think there are that many situations where you have players who play the same position, same role on the same tier, where if you replace one with the other in a championship scenario, unless they are the number one, where you wouldn't get similar results. I don't. If Dame played with KD instead of Curry, I don't think Dame has one less ring. I think Dame is still going to be able to be in a role and produce well enough to win with Kevin Durant on that Warriors team. I don't think Stephen Curry, even though he is number 6 on my GOAT list, I don't think you replace him with Dame, they lose one less ring. I don't. And I think Curry is clearly better than Dame.
Wait, you think?
You think they win 4 with Dame?
I don't think. I don't want to turn into a basketball pod or like the player, like turn into like a player's choice debate kind of thing. Shout out player's choice, by the way. But like essentially,
You don't want to.
We talking about Kevin Durant too, man.
Nigga, that's why it was on my mind because that was fucked up. Yeah, here y'all go.
No, go
anyway,
ahead,
I'm saying I don't want to turn into like that kind of debate, but I just like that too. The idea you think Damian Lillard gets 4 championships in Golden State. That's crazy.
I said with Kevin Durant.
Oh,
I said the championships with Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I think the general concept to me is because you can go down the rabbit hole. It's not a slight. It's not a slight to think that exchanging a player who, generally speaking, the agreed upon consensus is that they are in similar tiers, close to tiers. We can acknowledge that one is above because, my God, in 10, 15, 20 years from now, we're going to acknowledge, or 25 years from now from 2000, we're going to acknowledge that Steph is better. We're going to acknowledge that the second best point guard during that time was Damian Lillard. We should also be able to agree that, like, I'm not going to lie, playing with Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, Kevin Looney, Steve Kerr coaching, they don't win 0. They don't win 0. And that's not a slight to Curry, most importantly. Over anything, it's not a slight to Curry to say they win a ring. But what I'm seeing now is if people say anything about Kobe any which way, it's a slight on Kobe.
Oh, that's true.
And I don't know if that's like a death tax thing or what it is. It's just a weird. It's just
the death taxes work in the nastiest way because it's worked, but yeah, I don't even know. It's real.
I think it's nostalgia tax, death tax. I don't know.
No, there is a death tax, but the thing is with the death tax, it's real and it's worked for both sides, and it's kind of disgusting. With the second Kobe passed away, people were ready to either A, get the shit off, or B, defend against the people that were ready to get the shit off. There's no doubt, like everybody's sitting there, you're stupid if you think Kobe got hate. If anything, he gets more love. No. Both have happened because billions of people exist and all of them are assholes. Both have happened. A lot of the time, someone will sit there, say something about Kobe, and we're all sitting there like, okay, if Kobe was alive, he's not saying that on television. On the flip side, they will get a lot of times where people will sit there, man, you know what? This Kobe guy, man, you know, I think y'all downplay him because he passed, man. Really? He was rivaling prime LeBron James. Like, he's the GOAT for real. Bro, like both of them conversations, sure, I guess, have happened, and we all called them dumb when they were happening or a year after they happened. But death tax is definitely a real thing. I just think it's worked for both sides.
If you were to say something, if you were talking to a Kobe lover when he retired, nah, Kobe definitely top 5, top 3. Kobe, yeah, Kobe, miss Kobe, Kobe, yeah. You talk to a Kobe fan after that nigga died, Kobe is my GOAT. Kobe's number 1.
Nigga been waiting to see.
Kobe is the GOAT. He's your favorite basketball player's favorite basketball. He's the GOAT. That's death boost. Going from top 3, top 5, when you retire to when you die 4 years later, oh no, he was number 1. That is a death boost.
Last thing,
I guess but before I personally have just seen the reverse. Like I think especially right around 2010 and around his retirement, like everyone was saying, yeah, Kobe top 5, Kobe this, that, and the third. But as the conversation has gone more towards analytics specifically, I've seen way more people bring up that Kobe wasn't as good as he was. He was inefficient. KG or Kobe, who really was better at their peak, like all these different conversations. So it may just be like a timeline difference. And just recalling
Unfollow Eli, man. Unfollow Eli.
Again, it may just be a timeline difference. And like looking back, I just don't even know like the last time I had a conversation with like a Kobe stan for real to even like say that.
They all closeted, man.
All I'm gonna say to conclude it is, death tax is real. I think all of us should be able to acknowledge it. There's 2 things that happen when somebody dies, and it happens in music all the time. The albums,
100% music.
You know, the conversations about them go up. We put them in conversation that they probably shouldn't be in. Years down the line, it's going to be a conversation trying to bring them back to reality that might be with some disrespect, but it works both ways. And then 2, people can tell stories and, spin narratives without any pushback. Truly. You can start doing that because if somebody gives you pushback on one side, then you're gonna be looked at as some sort of asshole or negative Nancy or whatever the case may be. That's why these people get these movies off. Dr. Dre gets the movie off about NWA. Guy's a great guy. One of the best. God,
Save the cat out of tree.
Yeah, he's one of the best. Only after like 6 people died. Before that, he couldn't get it off because they would have called them out and said, yo, you put hands on every woman that we ever met, ever. So just wanted to get that off there.